Hi, I'm back. I think I'm going to make things a little easier. Oops, that one's plugged in down there. May as well go ahead and do that too. Alright, so yesterday I cleaned out the 12-pound and I cleaned out the 2 3-pounds, and today I got to clean this one and reset it. This one is almost done, but I have more Highland Park information. Right now I can't use my 12-pound Highland Park tumbler because the gasket has a hole in it after 9 weeks of use. I made a comment in a Facebook group about that, and this comment got a response from a guy named John. Turns out John's the president of Highland Park. Okay, so he told me to get in contact with Highland Park and that they would replace it. So I emailed them and I got nothing. And about 3 or 4 days went by, and I commented again on that thread, and probably an hour later my phone rings, but it's a Texas number. Now Highland Park is in Massachusetts. I generally don't answer calls that I don't know where they're coming from or whatever, but I did, and it was Highland Park. They took it upon themselves to look up my phone number and actually call me rather than emailing me back. Okay, all right, and kudos to them. While I was on the phone with them, she looked up that I had bought a dual 3-pound and the 12-pound, because we were talking about the 12-pound. She said, you still have those, right? So, yeah. She goes, are you still using brass nuts for them? I said, yes, I am. She goes, I'm going to send you out 3 stainless steel ones because they're better. Okay, great. Okay, and they have redesigned these so that they should last more than 9 weeks, and she assured me that I was getting a new one, not an old one. Great. Okay, so about 2 days later I get an email from Highland Park. Your replacement's going to be one of the old gaskets, not a new one. So essentially they're going to send me a 7 to 9 week extension, and then I'm going to be back to idled again, going through all of this again. In the meanwhile, that all took place. The call was on June 11th. The email that I got telling me that I was going to get an old gasket was probably like the 13th or so. Today is June 30th. I've got nothing. Okay, so my tumbler is still idle. This one's running, and my old Lortone, 7-year-old Lortone, is still running, but the Highland Park is idle. Now, while I was on the phone with her, and I've seen a lot of people complaining that they feel like Highland Park is using farmed out consumer tech support or whatever you call it. And the fact that the call came from Texas and their company is in Massachusetts, that kind of tells me that's probably what I got. When I was talking to this girl, one of the problems, okay, if you look at this, okay, this one is spinning clockwise, okay? The Lortone spins counterclockwise. Now, as far as tumbling rocks, that makes no difference at all. But here's the problem. If this nut hangs up on this guide with the barrel spinning clockwise, it unscrews the nut, okay? Which is what's happened to a lot of people. It happened to me the first time I used my 12-pound. It has not happened on the 3-pound. My suspicion is the barrel doesn't have enough weight to put that kind of torque on it. But there you go. Now here's the thing. When it first happened to me, my first thought was if I could reverse the polarity of the engine and make it spin counterclockwise instead of clockwise, it would be good, because then if it hangs up, it's actually going to tighten the nut, not loosen it. Okay, well, I had another idea. You can buy either a 12-pound tumbler or a dual 6-pound tumbler which is basically 2 barrels on the same thing. Now, I'm going to grab it. No, I'm not. It's understuck. Okay, well, what that means, okay, it's kind of like this. Hopefully we can see this. Okay, the dual 3-pound has a guide here at the front and another one here at the back. Okay, the one in the back, the barrel's turning counterclockwise, so it can't unscrew that one. So my thought was the 12-pound, it has this guide, it doesn't have this one, but there's actually a hole on the back part of it, because probably it's the exact same tumbler you get for the dual 6, they just don't put that extra guide on it. I told her if I had that guide, I could literally just flip my barrel over, put the nut towards the back, and that solves the whole problem. Okay, it'd probably be a good idea for them for the 12 pounds, quit putting this one here anyway. Quit putting the front one on, just put the barrel the other way, so that you can, it should end the problem with the nuts getting unscrewed. Okay, but we'll see what happens. Now, when I told the girl this, she is like, I will forward this to our tumbler experts and see what they have to say about it. When I got the email telling me that I was going to get another one of the crap gaskets, she did put in the email that they thought my idea would work, and they're sending me the guide that goes here, because this guide is actually connected to the cover of the motor. I could theoretically, I could have cut it off and moved it to the back, but I really didn't want to go that far yet. So they're going to send me one that I can screw into the other side and I can flip the barrel over, but at the same time I'm also getting a stainless steel nut, so that probably solves the problem too. I've also been told to get a metal file and file these so that they are they're smoother and they can't hang up on the nut. I've also heard people put oil on them and that keeps it from hanging up. Now here's the problem. I put oil on mine. I use 3-in-1 oil. I put a drop on each nut, and what that has done is every time I touch the barrels, I get grease all over my hands, and I'm a little tired of that. I hate having to deal with that every time I'm opening and closing a barrel. And this right here is just because I touched the guide. So I don't think we should have to do that. I did read about a guy that just bought a bunch of the plastic Lortone nuts, and he just uses those, and it solved the problem for him too. So that is where we are now. I have in these 2 barrels now, I have rocks that I brought back from Michigan from my trip. In this, it's still the thing that you're going to hear about in August, and in here it is the thing that you're going to hear about in August, but I've also got some of the Michigan stuff in there too, so that's what I'm working on right now. Also had a pretty bad week. We had some bad thunderstorms and my basement flooded, so I'm also in the process of picking up things, drying things off, spraying Clorox, this is a 100-year-old house, and getting water in the basement is fairly normal, but I usually don't get nearly that much, and luckily most things I have down here are up on bricks or up on 2x4s, so it's not as bad as it could have been. But yeah, this time the storm drains backed up my sewer lines and it came in through the floor of my basement, so that's not good water. So I got a lot of cleanup to do. Alright, so that's where we are. I will do another video when I have more to tell you, and happy tumbling.